All right, everybody. Oh, okay. Let's get that off the screen. Um, so I was screwing around with the custom entry list for ACC and figured this would be like more of a visual medium rather than explaining it in text. Put together a little video, work with it that way. So they do appear to work. I was able to get number changes. That being said, the way ACC is with a lot of its custom files, there's like a great deal of chances to make errors. So I would prefer this to be like a last resort for a series as opposed to standard operating procedure. That being said, obviously the fact that there are no Honda and no McLaren teams is a considerable oversight. It's hard to do Lexus teams as well. And this would also open up like another another Aston Martin team with Team Oman if we wanted to go that route, because I know the Aston's very popular, as well as a third car for Garage 59. So these are all things that we can do and relieve some pain points for like teams and liveries and such. But it is something I'd prefer to do. Not necessarily when there's like no other option, because there always is another option. I mean, hell, look how many car numbers there are. But obviously, if there's a good reason, let's do it. It just adds a layer of complexity and possible mess up, which is less than ideal, but we can make it work. Anyways, how to do it. So what I need here is your Steam ID, which is right here. If you log into Steam on your web browser, go to your profile, lead to this page, grab that Steam ID number. That is what I need to link you to the custom entry list. Provide that to me and I can do the rest, and then what number you want to run, basically. And I figured I'd also handle some other questions here. A problem we've had, and I'm logged in as Ziggy here to the RaceApp. He has kindly volunteered his account so that like what I see here is what you absolutely will see, as opposed to potentially having problems with, for example, me looking at these things as admins. I don't necessarily know fully what it is. So let's say that Ziggy wants to register as a solo driver. Picks his car model. Let us say the Vantage V12. He picks his livery from the browser here. Let's see, he literally likes this 100 car, which actually I do. That's a really nice car. And then accepts the terms and enters as a solo driver. Okay. Let's say he doesn't want to do 100 here. Is self-service not on? It is. Okay. It definitely is. So this is the one thing that, as an admin, I'm not... Ah, here we are. Click update booking. Here we go. You could change your number here to, let's say, 98. And there we go. So that would be how you select another number, because I noticed a lot of people are just putting number 0 here with the custom liveries. You can change that number. That is within your power to do so. Also, just throwing this out here, Chris Downing, and if we ever figure out who he is, Dial Rhoda. I have no idea why you're running the old Bentleys. You're running custom liveries, so it's clearly not any emotional attachment to a livery. And the 2006 Bentleys are worse in every regard than the 2018 Bentleys. And they feel very much the same. Well, that's the other thing. It's like, it's one thing to want to run like an old car like the V12 Vantage, or, well, let's see here, let's just update booking. Like the V12 Vantage, or, this is a good example, 650S. Maybe the old Porsche feels particularly different or something. But, I don't know. There's not really much of a reason to run many of the older cars, because as much as like older cars, sometimes like the BMW M6 Z4 comparison is a great one. Like the Z4 and the M6 are completely different cars. If you like the Z4, there's a solid chance you won't like the M6 and vice versa. But in the case of most GT3 cars, the upgraded version tends to retain pretty much the appeal of the previous one, and without really having any kind of problems. So let's retreat from the series and then do an example team formation here. So let's say here he wants to found a new team. And we're going to call this Ziggy's team. And we're going to run, I don't know, the Audi Evo. And we're going to pick a livery. So in here would be the thing where, like, we're trying to come up with relatively common or same liveries. So the team liveries here. The numbers have become less important because we can massage them with the custom entry list. But obviously we want to stick with here this as much as possible. So for example, Audi has a lot of teams available. We have the Phoenix cars, which are cars like this number 11 here. There's also the number 5 car and 2 different number 5 cars. So to do a 3-car team, that one would have to do a custom entry list. I think there's only 2. Conversely, you could also do the Attempto team, which is the 55, the 56, and the 57, or the 66. So that would be the ideal one, or the Santa Lock team, which is 24, 25, 26 this year. So that's Santa Lock. I think that one is too. I don't really like that 25 car, but it's whatever. Anyways, there's that's that one too, and then the red one in the 26. Those are the Santa Lock cars, so you could run that. So that's kind of where I'm saying is let's try to keep this somewhat limited. All right, so let's just grab. Let's just say he wants to do the Attempto team. There we go. The Attempto number 56. Accept. Boom. There we go. And then somebody else could join by join an existing team. So these are the ways to handle it. Because there's just, I don't know, there's a lot of errors or a lot of people not really listening. Because, I mean, for example, we have a couple of, we have 2 23 cars. Mr. Yagdis and then Juan Ramos. And Juan would have to change because that's a custom car. Whereas Yag would have, to a degree, the preference there. Also, it's a Lexus, which is really hard to find. But yeah, the numbers have become less important. We can massage them. But I would really prefer to keep that to a somewhat minimum. Obviously, there's a McLaren team forming here with 2C Motorsports. So anyone who wants to join Ryan Gonzalez can do that. Interestingly, John Picha has no car selected. That should be the 88 ACA ASB car. Don't know what's up with that. So I've re-enabled self-updates. However, people, please look at the rules. Look at what's going on here. Because, like, I mean, for example, Douglas Car Heroes. That's the same car, guys. It's the same car. Like, come on. It's just sloppy. Anyways. This has become a lot less useful because the numbers are not necessarily important. But it still does show you taking numbers, taking cars. We can obviously move things here. So, like, for example, like car 27 could either be the Hub Auto Corsa Ferrari or the Daiko Lazarus Lamborghinis. We could move the Hub Auto if you wanted that car to a different number if someone had the Daiko Lazarus. So that's things. So yeah, really all I need is just this number here and then what number you want to run. Still, I'm a little iffy on it. We'll see how it goes. I want some volunteers today to run some custom numbers, and hopefully it works out. And hopefully we have a viable way of expanding the field a little bit and doing some things that the game didn't necessarily support.